Elias Turner had lived alone in the pine-dark mountains of Montana for 7 long years. A woodsman by trade and a solitary soul by nature, he spoke more to the wind than to men. His cabin stood miles away from the nearest settlement, just him, the trees, and the quiet ache of a life spent without family. But one winter dusk, everything changed. Snow was falling heavy when he heard urgent knocking on his cabin door. Elias opened it to find a woman wrapped in a torn shawl, her face pale with fear, and 3 shivering children clinging to her skirt. "My name is Sarah Whitfield," she whispered, voice trembling. "My husband died on the trail. We got lost in the storm. Please, help us." Elias rarely welcomed anyone into his life, let alone strangers. Yet something in her eyes, something tired and desperate and brave, struck a place in his heart that had been quiet for too long. Without a word, he stepped aside. "Come in." That night, while the fireplace burned bright, Elias watched the children eat their first warm meal in days. The youngest girl fell asleep on his flannel sleeve, trusting him without hesitation. Sarah tried to apologize, tried to explain, but the words kept breaking into sobs. Elias simply shook his head. "You don't owe me anything," he said softly. "You're safe now." But even he didn't know what sheltering them would ultimately mean. A family he never expected. Winter dragged on, sealing trails and trapping the unexpected family together inside the cabin. But the cold months brought something Elias never expected: belonging. He taught the oldest boy to split logs. He fixed the widow's shoes. He carved toys for the children at night when they slept. And Sarah brought life back into the wooden cabin. She filled the silence with gentle humming. She cooked with the herbs she found buried under the snow. She listened when Elias spoke, really listened, as if his words mattered. Slowly, the walls he'd built around his heart began to crack. One night, when a pack of wolves circled the cabin, Elias stood guard outside until dawn. When he came in, shivering but unharmed, Sarah laid a blanket over his shoulders and touched his cheek. "You protected us, like we were your own," she whispered. Elias swallowed hard, unsure how to answer. But her words echoed inside him for days. By spring, something had changed. The children began calling him Pa without thinking. Sarah smiled at him the way a woman smiles at a man she trusts. And Elias, once a lonely mountain ghost, realized that his cabin no longer felt big and empty. It felt full. It felt alive. It felt like home. One warm evening, Sarah stepped onto the porch, watching him repair the fence with the children. The sun dipped low behind the trees, painting them all in gold. She walked over, her voice gentle. "Elias, you saved us. And somewhere along the way, you became our family." He froze, then exhaled a breath he'd been holding for years. Maybe he had taken in a widow and her children out of mercy. But they were the ones who healed him. And in the heart of the American wilderness, the lonely woodsman finally found what he never knew he was searching for. A family forever.